Hi, hello there. My name is Marvel, and I welcome you to Candid Conversations with Expert 25. And today we have the CEO, T.Alamode, I call her Auntie Tito, with us today. So sit back and watch.
Good afternoon.
You know what to me. He's the owner of the podcast, but he's the one that's happy.
Thank you so much, Ma, for doing this. I'm so grateful. Thank you for every opportunity. Since the first time I've met you, you've been such an amazing person.
Welcome.
Thank you for all that you do. And also for Uncle Am too. And thank you for the voice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I remember the first time I met you at the studio. You didn't treat me like, I know I said, oh, this boy is going to be, and that was it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being super supportive.
You're welcome.
Alright, so I'll just go straight into the questions.
Okay.
So I said, in rapid evolving industry like the makeup artistry, collaborating seems like crucial beyond sharing techniques. And how can younger folks get genuine collaborative relationships, and how to that the collaboration will elevate everyone in it, so that and also let's have that first before I take
You say for an industry that is evolving fast,
yes, ma'am.
right? It's a good thing for the young ones, because some of the struggles we had to deal with, you guys don't have to deal with it, because now we have more creatives.
Okay.
It's now a craft that's respected by the public, so it's easier to collaborate with people. In our time, the loads of disparity between us and maybe the big, for example, photographers or hairstylists. But now you can find people in your level and collaborate with them and grow with them. So I think it's an easy thing. It's just I find that in the industry at the moment, people are very selfish with the situation where when they say collaboration, it falls on one party. One party is the one doing the model, one party is the one taking care of transportation. They are not actually collaborating. Yeah, and I find that when people send me DMs and they're like, oh, I want to collaborate with you, and then I say, okay, and then you're asking me for a transportation fee. Wow. I'm like, okay, so what part of your
are you collaborating for us? What's your take?
What are you bringing in? Yeah. So is it benefiting us? So yeah, collaboration is very crucial as long as it's beneficial to all parties involved, and it's very important for growth, because you bring the people from your audience, from their audience, and come together and build an even greater audience. And another part of collaboration I feel like people don't tap into is, I was telling a group of young makeup artists, I said, do you know that you people can rent a space together?
Okay.
And call it one name and thrive in it. So it's not like one person paying one rent.
Yeah.
Or maybe we are paying rent.
Just
yes, and if you have a space where people can come, you have your clients, you can share clients. But because everyone is thinking of themselves, nobody is thinking of
next
coming together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never thought about that before. I never thought about
first too, because even Aham, and at some point they all had a common studio. Aham, Emmanuel, guys, August. They were all in one studio. They are all in one studio before they reserved into their own people, but they all shared one studio space.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what do you think has been like? I know you've been in the industry for years, and you've obviously grown like really. I don't want to sound like as if I'm singing your praise in your presence. Yeah. You've grown reasonably well, and you have like a whole lot of experience. What do you think you would consider more like pitfalls, or what do you think you would consider when you see this particular sign from someone that is saying let's collaborate on that you should avoid, maybe from behavior or whatever it is?
To be honest, I think I've always avoided it. I don't know that I've had any quote unquote bad collaborative experience, but I remember when I came back, because before I moved into Lagos, I was in the UK, and then when I came back, I had plans of, coming into the industry, right? And I remember doing shoots with different people. I reached out to people that did not respond to me, which is okay, but most of the people I reached out to helped me, and the fact that I was dating a Hamazat then was very good for me. My sister is also a photographer. That's Mando Studio. So I tapped into all of their audiences, and I don't think there's because with every time I wanted to do a collaboration, as much as it wasn't it's supposed to be beneficial to everyone, right? But I carried the bulk of it because I was the one planning it. Okay. Right? And I benefited from it because it's from collaboration that I met that day, so I told me. I reached out to her. I had a ham. I reached out to a stylist, hairstyle. All of us came together and we all benefited from it. So I think, I don't know, I think when I was growing up, I was very critical and logical with how I plan things. It wasn't I'm doing what I've never been one to do things because people are doing it. Okay. So I think that was one of the things that helps me focus and navigate that part. But in the industry, a lot of people are copying everybody. Everybody's doing everything. Everybody's using the same model. It becomes boring. Okay. But if you can silence that noise and focus on what your focus is, I think you can avoid a lot more pitfalls when it comes to collaborating, because then you know why you're doing it. You're not just doing it because you saw it on Instagram. Yeah.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Like a lot of sense. Because I just go to this second question, and as I said, growth in itself isn't linear. There are times you just go up, down, goes up, but the end part of it is just to make sure that it's towards the upside of it. So I'm saying there are plateaus and there are setbacks, and I was going to ask, how have you navigated the period of stagnation and doubt in your career? Or let me say, have you ever?
Of course. I had that when I moved to Lagos, because a lot of people didn't know me. So I had a period of drought. People are not booking, we're booking, you're having one booking in a month. I remember I used to even say to her, people are not booking me and stuff like that. But I kept my eyes on the prize in that time. I sharpened my skills, because then you realize that in that time you need to sharpen yourself so that when the blessing you're praying for then comes, you have the skill and you're very equipped to handle it. So since after that, I think even now navigating where I am, our industry can be a seasonal situation where we just finished Ramadan and Lent, people are in Lent. So in March it wasn't as much as it was. But for me, I just use it as a rest time, because I realized I've been working back to back since December. And it was from December until January. It was just a lot. So March was a time of rest for me, to read, to learn, listen to podcasts, learn more about my business, because now I want to put more structure while guiding my artists on how to, sharpen your skills. Now we have less bookings, create content for the time we are fully booked, so that we have things scheduled. Use that to, just breathe, learn, and come back again. So I will not. I remember when I used to post on Instagram for young makeup artists, I say that we're not booked this Saturday. It's not the end of the world. You can use it to rest. That rest you might actually need. That book that I've been not wanting to read, there's a lesson for you in that book. So it's that stagnation. It's not like it's a stagnation. It's just a period for you to reset.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not to see it as stagnation, but
it's a mindset thing. Don't see it as stagnation. See it as a time you can use and learn more. That's the time you can use and register for a workshop. And you find a lot of people have now doing master classes in those times. Like in this March, I think like 1 million people are doing master classes. It's a time to pay for a class online, even if you don't want to do one physical. It's a time to learn a skill that can help your business. It's not just about the the photography, the makeup, you need business skills to help you run the business or whatever you're doing. Yeah, so I never see it as a period of drought. And even, I mean, we had a major setback in August last year where our studio burnt. Yeah. And as much as it felt like our whole world was crumbling, it was just a time for God to say, you are relaxing too much. It's time to take up your,
take it up
and go harder. So it's never, in hindsight, if you look back, you know that it wasn't a setback. So because of that experience I have, I know that when things are not, it's time for me to spend time with my family and my boys. Go swimming, go to the gym, do something that would edify my soul and my body. My work is not me. I'm not work. I should exist from it. You find that's why a lot of creatives have what do they call it now? Creative block. Because you're working literally, you're doing the same thing. And there I go, financial eyebrow, eyeshadow lip. Financial lip, it becomes so boring that I'm supposed to love this. But when you have that time of rest and relax and do stuff for yourself, you see that when you come back, you feel rejuvenated.
So it's the mindset.
Yes, it's my mindset. Yeah. It's not a moment of drought.
Exactly there. So I think I should mention in passing that I love the new studio, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll go to the next question. It's about staying relevant.
Yeah.
How do you do it with the whole new trends and technology that is coming up? How do you stay on top of your game?
It's not that talent is not enough, your skill is not enough.
When you said that, I'm like jumping up.
Your skill is not enough, and there will always be someone better than you. There's even there are people coming for your spots from the upcoming ones. So it's building character, is customer service, is how you relate with your clients, how you position yourself out there. You're not I've created a niche for myself. I'm not for everyone. Right. So the people that are for me know that they're for me, and I have, when you have clientele that come back, I have that. So I worked on having clientele that will stand and be my marketers, right? So people now say, if you don't want to waste your money, you want to look like yourself, go to Tito, do that. But as much as I'm focused on the niche I've created, I'm evolving as well. I'm learning. I'm constantly learning. I love learning. I'm always watching videos. In fact, every year I do a class with a makeup artist, a colleague of mine. I was going to do one with Zainab, but I wasn't opportunity to go for a master class and she's not around. But I picked someone that, I admire their work. And if both of us talk and we're good to go, we go. It might not be, and I just want to learn what your thought process is. What makes you do what you do. I might not want to take whatever it might just be one thing. So I think that keeps me relevant, that keeps me humble. And knowing that you're not a celebrity, you're a service provider. So you need to continue providing that service and providing it in the best way possible. That is what will keep you relevant.
I realize the way you could rephrase this thing so that many of us could learn it, knowing that you are not a celebrity. You are a service provider.
Yeah, we are service providers. You're not even what's the richest man's name again? Dangote. No, in Africa, Dangote, they are still advertising. Dangote is still a hustler. He's still providing what he needs to provide, as much as he's the richest man in Africa. But us in our small thing, say I don't reply to DMs. I don't do this. I don't. My dear, those customers are trying to feel big for when they eventually start trooping out and leaving you become irrelevant. Those are your stars, your customers. So it's important that you treat them as such and not
the
reverse. Because I have people coming to me and say, "Oh my God, you are so responsive to your DM, you are so responsive to your email." This is my business. And they're telling me that makeup artists, they reached out to 3 days, they've not answered them on their answer. Like, why? You know, and then some people say you don't have work. No, you just have a bad work ethic. You don't know how to service your clients. Yeah, that's what it is. So that one, stay humble. Remember that you're not a celebrity. It doesn't matter how many followers you have on Instagram. It's just Instagram. If it closes today, then what happens?
So I think speaking of this, can you speak a little bit more even into work ethics or character, even as a skilled person?
Yeah, I mean, in the studio, we know like one of our core values is customer service. You never hear that I went late for work, for example.
Okay.
I always keep to time.
Okay.
My team members always keep to time. I even saw one of my former employees post on her social media on Instagram where she said, "There's everything I learned from T.Alamode while working there was keeping to time." So clients respect that as much as we think in Nigerian time. You know, people know that Tito will keep to time. T.Talamode Beauty, her staff will keep to time. So that one is a no-brainer. It's not. So I don't want to hear your 5 minutes. No, we should be 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
So that you prepare for whatever it is that, you know, and if you find that you're going to be late or there's traffic, start to update your people and give them the option.
That's so.
Don't come and be telling them I'm coming. I remember one time a photographer booked the studio. And he kept telling his clients, I'm coming for 5 hours. That is the highest level of tardiness that I cannot even fathom. And of course, these people will not book that photographer again.
Yes.
Best be sure that it's never, like, they're not going to have that. Yeah. So I think that's one. Being polite. Being kind. Just be polite. Doesn't matter if the client is being whatever they be polite. Politely pass your message. That doesn't mean like being polite does not mean that they are riding over you.
Right.
If I go to a client and they start to request for something that was not, I'll just politely say this happened, that happened, and that's it. I'm not one to call out my clients.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have that call-out culture. I don't know why people have it, where they start. I just learn from it. So, for example, I have a client that wastes my time. Okay, you waste my time. Before you book in your invoice, will be written there that you have to keep to time. All the conditions. So you see before booking.
Yeah.
I just learn from it. I use it to update my policies. I don't go out as I say, so on Instagram, I cannot vent my husband to somebody. No, I mean, my business is, you have to realize you're running a business, not your hobby. It's not you. People make it personal. It's not personal. It's about the business.
Yes.
When you learn that lesson, like for example, one of my brides booked, I think something happened and they could not now have the wedding. I don't know what happened, but they asked for a refund. So one time I checked what I sent to them. He had no policy regarding refunding them. And I sent him their full money back. Well, guess what I did? I went back.
And
updated all my bridal policies to make sure that you know that if this happens, you have this time for you to get a full refund. But when this window passes, I'm sorry, you're not going to get a refund. You can reschedule your date. Well, and that also means that it has to favor me. It has to be a time that's free for me. Yeah. But otherwise, I just learn from it. But I feel like I think I download Coca-Cola and calling everybody out. Like we need to start thinking of ourselves, our brands like that. We take it too personal. It's not a personal thing. It's just business. You learn from it, you update, and then when people see how you operate your business, they become more respectful with how they handle you.
I'm learning a good lesson because although there are some things that home training does not allow me to do, but I've never seen like why I shouldn't do them apart from home training. But now you're talking about see how those big so-called businesses handle things and learn why they do it that way. Then do it this way.
That's why they stayed relevant for as much as they said, and also some of us are dying because we think it's our personal. If you're running a hobby, then that's fine. But if you want to run a business as a business should be run.
Awesome. Amazing. I think maybe one of these days we need to, or maybe I need to see you because
I've been thinking of putting together a business masterclass, not for creative, because a lot of us don't know how to, like, we are creatives fine, but like it's still not a like you need to see it more than a hobby. The hobby part you still retain, but so actually now run a sustainable
business that's gonna last.
Yes, you have to have the business mindset.
Yes, I'll be in that class. So I'm volunteering. But no, actually, it's here because I'm sorry. I'm not going to mention him, but there's a couple of. Okay, so like you said, people at my level, there are kind of clients that can also come to us, and I've seen 2-3 persons complain to me about a particular photographer that's at my level and how probably they weren't so responsive or some sort of like that, and I just don't know, and I know that most times people tell you faster that this thing has like a bad side effect on them than even when it has a good side effect on them. And I'm thinking how many persons they could have also told and what they could have also expected. Some even tell me like, when we are done with the shoots, but I'm like, I think you're very kind or you're very humble or something, you know. When the studio I use is like 2-story building, so when I come downstairs, help them pick their stuff, and they're like,
that's client experience. That's one thing that make the client come back, because if you think about climbing the stairs, to climb the stairs, but this photographer will usually come down and help me, so I will not mind booking his service again. You will see that they are seeing it as you being too humble, but it's also a business strategy to get your clients to come back.
I mean, I've read that like 2-3 times. I'm like, okay, I think I'm doing something right. Although I don't know why I just did that. It's just home training. Probably because some of them are a little bit older than me, or people that are maybe like my friends and age mate. I just like, just to carry back now. I'm gonna just go carry. I'm waiting here. But I mean, thanks so much for sharing that wisdom. I'm so grateful. So good. So I'll just move to the next question. With the rise of social media, how have you been able to stay out of comparison? Or how have you been able to avoid comparing yourself with someone else?
I just admire people's work above all. The sky is big enough for all of us to exist. I see your work, I love it, I comment, I love it. I see your work, I don't love it, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say I love it because I don't love it. Yes. I'm not going to engage in it. But what does that comparison do? It keeps me worried. So why do I want to compare myself with the person? Sometimes you might be doing better, but social media makes it seem, and you will hear people organizing shoots to make it seem like they're busy. I just know that social media is not real life.
Okay.
It's just a medium for all of us to post our portfolios, and that's it. That's all that it is. I go there, post what I need to post, reply to my clients, I come out. So social media, knowing what social media is, that's what, because I'm also a content creator. I know how I do videos when I feel my best, I look my best, I post it because I feel like I feel my best. I'm not going to do that when I can't count on it that I've done a video, it's not like I look better, I won't do that. So most of us are putting our best foot forward, and that's what you're comparing yourself to. You're comparing your normal self to somebody's best self. It doesn't make any sense, because they're not going to put their struggles, they're not going to put those days that they've cried, they're going to put those days that they didn't have money. They're just going to put their best foot forward. So comparing yourself to anyone on social media is counterproductive. Use social media as a tool to learn. Use it as a tool to network. Use it as a tool to promote your work. Use it as a tool to put your portfolio out there for the world to see. And that's it. Using it as the other one it will do you more harm than good. Yeah.
All right. I think from what you've been saying so far, I think what differs between us and you is the mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset. It's
how you see it. I mean, you just killed the question with the first phrase, even without you going into the details. Yeah. All right. So that brings me into the next questions about mentorship. I know you, at least a little bit from what I've seen. I know Uncle Ammo, but I also know that just any other persons cannot be around him.
Oh, yes. I don't know whether this I'm a disciplinarian.
Yeah, I know that just any other person does not stay around him, and it's very hard for you to find someone around him that is not disciplined enough. And so, how do younger folks like us? How do we get mentorship? I don't know, should I say how, or should I say qualities that we should have to have access? Because even sometimes we have access and we listen.
Because people are looking to steal from the mentor instead of getting mentorship from the mentor. And if you're going to, if you go back to the Bible, all the times people mentored other people, they served.
That's the word.
You have to serve. So you don't have the mindset to serve. You're not going to get. And your teacher can only give you from that point of humility and service. That's the only way to tap into that your mentor. He's not coming to think that you can jack it from them. They know. I can tell when somebody wants to jack something from me. Even just from interviewing. Like I run internships, right?
Yeah.
And I moved. He went from 3 months to 6 months, and I was like, yes, 1 year.
Amazing.
And the reason I made it 1 year is because I see that 3 months is not enough. 3 months they go out, they're still running back. 6 months they go out, they're still running back. Besides, so I say I'm not holding it. Be going fly. You can fly. 1 year when you leave, if you leave. You are leaving a whole person. You are fully giving yourself. That has influence who have come and they are telling me that one. So I remember once that I had, that one was telling one that, this next time how you cannot work on Sunday. So that one say, I'm on my journey, you're on your journey. Guess what? Between these two people, one still has access to me. So much access that even when she needed a nanny, I was able to supply her with someone to help her in her home.
Wow.
So she stayed true to it. When she told her mom, my mom told her, and that's why I like to get people that are connected to their parents, because our parents are rice, wiser than us.
Yes, ma'am.
Her mom told her, focus on your own. You know what you want to get from this woman. You better stay true to the process.
Yeah.
Whatever the process is, let it be the process. I know that in that time that you're there, you do what you need to do to be there. And when it's time for you to move on, you move on. Every time she needs a product recommendation, she calls me. If I'm shopping Black Friday abroad, she'll message me, oh, please, if you're shopping this food for me, send the amount of money. You know, all of that access is coming, like having someone to hold your hand, which I didn't have. I had to fight my way through everything I know. But I'm so wise now that I know that I can guide somebody very well. So everyone is coming, especially the younger people coming. Everybody wants to be the next Aham now. Aham did not become Aham now. Aham took how many years? Like by 20th of April, my business will be 13 years.
13.
Yes. It didn't take me that amount of time for you to come and think you can steal it from me in 3 months. Even if I do what I do exactly, you will still not get it the same way. But if you serve and you get the blessing from serving, the sky is even just, you are still just stepping over. It's not just stepping point, you are stepping over to move to the next level. And I think that's what a lot of people don't know. It's service. If you want a mentor, then you'll be ready to serve.
I think one thing that is also wrong with us is we are looking for how to be mentored. We want to be mentored in a certain way. We don't want to
choice of how you want to.
Yes. I don't want to consider to clean up.
I don't pay for it. There are people that pay to be mentored. Maybe when you pay for it, then you can tell them how you want to be mentored. But you will not get the full value of the mentorship. No, you don't. It's like going to pay for school and you want to tell the teacher how to teach you. No, you pay for it, but they will teach you how they know you should learn. They teach you what you need to know. And at every point, they take you to the next level when you think you're not ready for the next level. Or they take you down when they know you're not prepared for it. But when you want to have control of how your mentor should mentor you, well, you will remain the same because there's no difference. You're not going to collect anything. You're just going to collect that thing. You put yourself in a box. But what mentorship does is it drives you, like in the studio, I'm literally drilling them, and some people cannot take the pressure of that drill for you to become who you need to be. And I remember one of my employees said to me that she didn't understand why I was so hard on her till she left after running her own business. Because people think it's personal. When I say, why are you forgetting things? Why are you not going through the process of using the checklist? Why are you not doing this? Why didn't you send your report at a particular time? When you eventually go and I say to them, everything that I'm instilling in you, whilst you're with me, whether you're working with me, you're interning with me, you're mentoring, whichever one, when you leave, I'm not going to take it away from you.
Yes. Yes.
You carry it. So if you don't come in and fully
soak
yourself into it, you will lose it. And I use an example where I told them, have you ever seen people that are doing canoeing competition? There will be a lead, but is he the only one? If he is the only one paddling, they will be going around and around and around. But the minute everyone is paddling and taking instruction and paddling, they are going forward. And that means that they are not leaving anybody behind. If they win, everybody wins. And that's why I said to them, and everybody, like they say, they'll come, okay, someone wants to do internship, and then you're coming with your own brand, and you want to work with me, you're coming with your own brand into my brand. No, they were not competitors in my brand. If you're going to be in T.Alamode Beauty, you are going to be there. You're going to soak yourself, bring your 2 left legs, your 2 right legs, your 2, all of them are coming. Because I'm not going to be the only one funding the situation for us to now benefit. Everybody has to put in themselves. When you now go out and run your business, then you run your business. But the difference is you now take what you've done here, learned here, what you put here, you then carry it into your own. But you don't mess yourself there because you think you want to have sex more than that person. Or you go, you still be clueless. Yeah.
I think that I'm beginning to see more reasons why Uncle will say I'm not taking it next.
Yes, that's right. But he did someone for 3 months who Sam gave his whole self, and now he's opened his studio. You see how I'm approaching him. Have you done this? Have you done that? You know you have to market this. Because he's giving. I don't want to tell him, if you're going to work with me, you're going to serve. I will use you. People don't want to be used. People don't want to serve. People don't want to serve. Even as much as they will send you this long message on how they want. No, they just want to come and see if they can take that secret. That secret cannot be gotten in one day, unfortunately.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I think that's like, because so that
everything is in the Bible. That's why I've come to realize that everything is in the Bible. Just go and check all the people that needed to be leaders. I had to go through somebody. I was watching King of David one day, and I was using his Kini as an example in the studio where I said David was going to be king.
Yes.
They pronounced him. So Samuel came and said he was going to be king. Of course, he's young.
Yeah.
He's married. How is it possible? But he has this thing where he's singing.
Yes, ma'am.
And the harp, of course, he sings melodious sounds, and he because he was so good at it, he found favor to now sing for the king. Guess what that is? Free internship. That he didn't even know. Now you're going to be king, and you have been brought just by the one that you're focusing on, that you have really done well. You have used that to enter
into an internship to
know the culture of the king. Yes. How a king was, how he operates, and he's with the king in his room, and he's even that his hand is bleeding to the point where his hand is bleeding. But David knew he was going to be king because Samuel had said it. Imagine David said, okay, me, I want to be king. Like, instead of me to be playing the harp, I'll come and be to pray. No, I want to be. No. But he stayed there, he played. In playing, he got to, know the king's children, know this one. Like, you don't know that it's entering inside your head, right?
Yeah.
But when you eventually become king, you realize that some of the things that you got while you were focusing on what brought you there, you are now using them to, as in, it was such a light bulb moment where I said, well, everything is in the Bible.
This like for real. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So okay, I think we're coming to the end of it. Similarly, last question. Looking back on your career, 13 in a couple of days from now. What advice would you give to your younger self, or what would you say to the younger folks
Stay true to the process.
Mm.
Eventually gets you there.
Mm.
Stay true to the process and never underestimate the power the process has in your eventual blooming.
Okay.
Do you get? People want to jump and pass the process. I think I stayed true to the process. I just wish I had I had the opportunity to intern or have a mentor. Especially, but now, even as I am now, I'm still looking for a mentor, a business mentor, because where I'm looking at now is more business focused, and I want to use the platform to raise makeup artists as long as they are ready to be raised under my umbrella. So yeah, I wish I had that, and I remember even looking for it, but it wasn't something that was available at the time. So yeah, if I look to my younger self, I wish I had someone that held my hand through it, because I think I would have gotten to where I am faster, if not faster, but I would have made less mistakes. Yeah.
Right. So that also means that to us we should stay true to our process.
Yes.
And get a mentor.
Yes.
And save.
Yes, save. The amount of doors service can unlock. I served. Relationship I have with Ade, so I served. Times that she needed me that I couldn't even fathom if I could do it, I did it. And in the long run, I served. And you don't know where it is that you serve. It doesn't have to be a photographer or a makeup, depending on what it is. Like I said with David's case, you serve, you don't know what that service will bring you or do for you. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with serving. And I find that all the people that have served, especially with me, they've gone on to do better. And staying true to yourself, honesty. Even in a world where honesty seems like you are being stupid. Honesty. Be honest with yourself. Be honest to your process and stay true to your process.
Right. I think that I wanted to add one more question though about the mentorship part.
Okay.
When I know that right now in the creative industry there's really less people offering mentorship, and that's because probably people are very careful of the kind of people that come around them.
Yes.
You don't want somebody to come spoil your brand. You don't want somebody to come spoil your name. It's just come steal from you. Maybe you finally give somebody access and over the night
misuse it. They abuse it. They always abuse it a lot of the times. They're going over the first
I just wanted you to speak a little bit more about the mindset of growth and of some sort of service models, just a little bit, because I feel like when you were talking you were speaking a whole lot, but you were still trying to hold back on some things. Probably I remember in some instances where somebody could have done better, maybe somebody you expected better from but did not get to that point, that dropped off, or some kind of energy of some grief or putting in efforts get there, more like mindset, because everything you said now, I'm saying it's just literally what differs you from me right now. If I could read that in mind, I'll be
the mindset thing. Instance, I think sometimes even when people come, I can already feel the energy. It's almost like I can tell the end from the beginning. So I'm an energy person. I can tell, and that's with everything in my life. Those people that are nannies, people that have come to stay with me as nannies, or people that have come to my space in T.Alamode, I can tell. So I would start to warn you. I'll start to, before I remember that this set of stuff I had, every time I was giving advice, but that advice, it's going and coming out from there. Eventually I had to get rid of the entire bunch because, they were stressing me. And for someone that is the lead, that is the founder, you need your energy a certain level so that you can bring in the big bucks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So letting them go, because sometimes if you don't want to learn, you will learn. No? So you either learn by someone else's experience,
Yes,
or you experience it by yourself. So I'm not going to do that to anyone. Anybody that does not want to hear, you will go out and you will come back. And every time it has happened, I remember this intern, the same one, when I say I'll say, okay, send me your practice, do this, do that, because sometimes I'm physically not there, because again, I'm not just a makeup artist, I'm a family, I have children. Even today I had to go send them to my friend's house. So if I'm not physically there, I'm there one way or the other. I'll say, do practice, send me a video, send me a picture, I'll make corrections. And she, instead of her to, because in fact at some point I think she thought that she knew more than me. Well, that's another thing. Thinking you know more. It's very hard to know more than the person that's above you.
Yes.
Unless the person is not learning. Unfortunately, I'm one of those that will keep learning. I will learn and I will continue learning. So at every point, I will always be a step ahead of you.
It's not both.
Yes, it's what it is. I put in the work. So I will always be a step ahead of you. And that's what it is. It's just like me saying I want to be my mother. My mother will always be a step. You get? She has experienced to you that I'm here to win. See with my eyes. That's saying that what another can see sitting down, even if you climb the highest skyscraper, you will not see. There's something that you can only know from experience. And that's what it is. So when, again, when you say, Jesus, you come for interview, I will know how to, and I will release you. And the ones that are staying and decide they are going to be a menace in my place, eventually you are seized out one way or the other. But then you would have now, I think another thing is that people now come into that thing you have been praying for, that mentor you have been praying for, you now get into their space and then you forget the privilege that it is that you have to be there. And I always say it to them, I say, remember that at some point being here was a prayer point for you.
Yes.
So you now get here, God gives you the opportunity and then you misuse the opportunity. I say, leave me out of it, but just think about God that you prayed for and told that, if you give me this, I will do it. So now you get it, and then you come in because maybe the person is nice or the person is a certain way, you just misuse the opportunity. Again, like I said, you will learn one way or the other. So then you experience the learning or you learn it from someone else. So I will always tell them stories. I always try to tell them, focus on your focus. I know that everybody wants to be their CEO. The truth is that not everybody can be.
Yes, ma.
CEO.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Some people have been created to be leaders.
Yes, ma.
Some people have been created to fund other people's leadership.
Yes.
To follow other people's leadership. So if you don't want to focus on what you have been created for, you don't be running business where you're not meant to run business or you're not ready to run business, and then it will crash and it will keep crashing. And there's nothing wrong with working for pushing someone's brand and pushing it to the level that you are not confident to now move and build your own brand and live well. Because when you live well, as a man, I really people think entering is important. Living is twice as important as how you live. Because if you live somewhere where you can easily come back if you need to come back, these people can refer you. It's just the opportunities are endless when you do that. But because people are looking at, it's always just a selfish situation. Human beings, we are all naturally selfish. It's just the grace of God that helps us to balance that level of selfishness and come back to, let's do this or let's do that. So I think that's what I think about this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Once again, I'm very grateful that you're doing this. Thank you so much for the opportunity to sit with you. Thank you for every of the access that I've had to you. Thank you so much for loving. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome.
There was a time when you studio and you brought stuff for Kwam and I had to eat out of it. I'm so grateful.
Are you serious? I can't even remember this one.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.